Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm taking a look at a movie that was first released in 1971. It was the first major motion picture from George Lucas, and it bombed at the cinema. In fact, it was all the executives at Warner Brothers could do to release it at all. They were so unhappy with it. So unhappy that they insisted Lucas hand over the negatives so their own people could recut the film. In the event, 4 minutes were taken out for the first theatrical release of the movie in 71, but years later, George Lucas put the 4 minutes back in for the film's DVD release. The film is, of course, THX1138. Imagine living in a world where citizens are constantly watched, are forcibly medicated, and where giving birth to a child is outlawed, unless sanctioned by the state. That world was envisioned by George Lucas in THX1138, his first major motion picture. He was just 25 years old when he made the movie, which is a much expanded version of a student film he made at USC called Electronic Labyrinth THX1138 4EB. It won first prize at the 1967-68 National Student Film Festival. THX1138 is set in a dystopian future, but Lucas said in one interview that the movie reflected the culture of consumers and corporations at the time the movie was made. However, in this world, no one has a name. The lead character, THX1138, played by Robert Duvall, lives and works in a modern but overcrowded city beneath the surface of the earth. Everyone, men and women, appear to look the same, all have shaven heads and wear near identical clothing. Policing the population is an army of silver-faced robots who are dressed in black and carry weapons. Our hero, THX1138, works in a factory making them. In effect, the citizens are making their jailers. A glimpse of the factory shows what must be the first on-screen appearance of C-3PO, the gold-coloured robot that appeared 6 years later in Star Wars. Was this gold-coloured robot in the very first cut of the film, or was it added during a subsequent update for release on VHS or DVD? I can't really say. However, C-3PO is not the only Star Wars character referenced in THX. The movie is known for the first use of the word Wookiee. The world of THX is also one of consumerism. People buy stuff and promptly dispose of it. They don't know why they consume, they just do. They make stuff to earn credits to buy stuff they don't need. It's a world of population control and mass surveillance, with cameras watching people all the time, even in their homes and bathrooms.
Take 4 red capsules. In 10 minutes, take 2 more. Help is on the way.
Keeping the drugged up citizens entertained are videos showing nudity and violence. Sound familiar? In one scene, we see THX visiting a confession booth. Sitting in front of a photo of a bearded man, THX is heard speaking, and a voice tells him to
work hard, increase production, prevent accidents, and be happy.
It's not all bad news though, as THX has a love interest. He finds unsanctioned romance with LUH3417, played by Maggie McOmie. She cut off her long hair in a publicity stunt for the movie to play the part. It seems that THX1138 is her only major movie credit, although she continues to work in the theatre and did appear in movies in 2006, namely Grand Junction and The Boston Strangler. Now back to the movie. Unbeknown to THX, LUH is swapping out his compulsory medication for what we assume to be placebos, and problems begin as THX starts to wake up. As he emerges from the fog of compulsory drugs, he makes mistakes at work. The authorities soon work out what's going on, and he's arrested for not taking his drugs. He's reprimanded and sent to prison, where he's tortured. his life spared because he's deemed more valuable alive than dead. He manages to escape from the prison, gets into a car he can barely drive, there's a car chase and a crash, and THX runs to climb a shaft to the surface of the earth and, perhaps for the first time in his life, sunlight. Now, we're not told in the movie why people, shops and factories are based underground. Perhaps the worker ants are put there so the elites above ground can enjoy relative peace and tranquility without factories and being bothered by anyone else. Now, as good as THX1138 is, it wasn't well received by Warner Brothers or the movie-going public when first released in 1971. The movie had a budget of $777,777 and made $2.4 million in box office receipts. 6 years later, Star Wars had a budget of $11 million. Now, despite bombing at the box office, THX was released again in 1977 on the back of the success of Star Wars, but again, the movie-going public didn't warm to it. THX1138 has been re-edited though, with the last revision taking place in 2004 when Lucas performed the director's cut. That movie was released on DVD in September 2004. A Blu-ray version was released in 2010. But how does the film stand up today? In essence, there's a lot of 1984 in this movie, but that's not a criticism, because any book or film that shows people being controlled and surveilled by the state is, unfortunately, like 1984. Taking a broad view of this immersive film, which has brilliant sound design by Walter Murch, the movie does stand the test of time. It almost reflects what we're seeing today. Mandated medication, we're watched, tracked with our mobile phones, told how to think by the media, appeal for everything, government control, and habitual consumerism. It's all reflected in THX 1138. Now, the movie's worth hunting down for numerous reasons. It's engaging, thought-provoking, challenging, interesting. Yes, it's like a student film on steroids, but look past this, and the movie is a shocking picture of what Hollywood does best, tells us what's coming next. If anything, THX 1138 was way ahead of its time, presenting unthinkable scenarios. Cold and depressing on one level, wondrous and exciting on the next. Anyway, burnt by Warner Brothers' hostile reception to THX in 1971, Lucas had to do a 180 for his next movie. It was make or break time for Lucas when he got American Graffiti underway a year later. And while that also hit the skids, disappointing movie executives in early screenings, that, for now, is another story. Thank you for watching the channel. I hope you enjoyed my review of THX, and you can help by sharing this video, liking and subscribing to the channel. And if there's a movie you'd like me to look at, then do please mention it in the comment section below. I promise to read all of your comments, and I'm really interested in your feedback on movies I should be looking at. But for now, that's it for this video. Have yourself a lovely day. See you next time on the channel.